cast some Dual Domination tournament. This is the first set of the tournament, I believe. Could be wrong, but I think it is. I think it is. So pretty hyped to be casting the set. I think it sounded amazing when I heard about this tournament. I was like, damn, this tournament is hype AF. I was like, I need to come out of retirement for tournaments. I need to be involved. And then I realized, hang on a second, I have a 1-year-old daughter. I can't be guaranteeing my schedule to wake up at 3 a.m. Australian time to play tournaments, even though I was this close to it. I was so close to doing it. I couldn't do it, but I was like, okay, if I can't do it, I'm definitely going to cast a couple of these sets. So I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I'm hyped in particular, without seeing any of the games played out so far. I'm hyped for the format. The format is you got 2 players on each team. They're playing the same civ. Cheers, Dodo. Cheers. Good to see you. I should say, Dodo is one of the tournament admins or organizers, or we've got Dodo and Neopel as the designated admins of the Discord. So congrats for you guys for starting the tournament. I wish you all the best in how the tournament runs. Like I was saying, I was super hyped because it's 2 players per team, so it's a team tournament, which adds a whole new dynamic to it. And they both play the same civ. I believe, I don't quite know how it works out yet, so we're going to get into the games and see how that plays out. You're playing the same civ, you're working with the same civ. How does that work with organization and stuff like that? I don't know. I have no idea. That's why I'm kind of hyped to see it, because I don't quite know how it works. But I love the cooperation element. But yeah, let's talk about the teams just for a second. Again, it's their first match, their first set, sorry. Takes 2 to Mango with Jinska and RDO AoE2. Welcome, welcome. And then we've got Hive Mind. Psychedelic T-Dog, I couldn't get his full name on screen, so I went Psych T-Dog, so apologies there. And then perhaps the most annoying name to actually type into the old PowerPoint, because I couldn't remember any of the letters. FGZBTRZ line FGZB. So welcome. Best of luck to both of these teams. I should say that it is in bracket 4, which I believe is the lower ELO bracket. So there's 4 brackets. They're the lower ELO bracket for this tournament. I would consider myself a lower ELO player. Maybe I'm bracket 3, but could potentially be bracket 4. So I'll be relating to these players a lot. Let's see how they go. So in terms of the draft, I've got the admin map in the middle there, which is mired. I actually haven't seen this map before, so it'll be interesting to see how this map plays out for me, not knowing what this map is like. And I'm seeing that a little bit with most of the maps, actually. I think this has the potential to have some really interesting maps, new maps, fresh maps that we don't see much in tournaments. You know, I could be wrong there. I just haven't really seen these maps much myself. But Mired is the admin map, so we'll see that map up first. And then takes 2 to Mango, chose Bay, and Hive Mind. I'm pointing in the wrong direction because it's mirrored. I should say Hive Mind picked Copenhagen, which seems to be a little bit of a closed slash hybrid map. So I'm pretty excited for that map because I think that's a little bit rare, seeing that closed hybrid combination. So that should be pretty cool, I would think. Got Dodo and Neopile in the chat as well, tournament organizer, and Back in Black, who is, I believe, taking part in the tournament, and who I know well from the TTL tournament. So welcome. In terms of the draft, I've set up this little draft screen. I think it's a little more exciting from the standard web browser. So Takes Two to Mango picked Urchins, still getting used to the new civs, if I'm being honest, and their names. I don't even really know what they're good at currently. I've seen them played. They've got that hunt doesn't decay bonus. That's kind of where I'm at right now with actually knowing who they are. But could see them on either one of these maps, and I'll be learning more what they do as the tournament goes along, I'm sure. But Italians and Persians, I think, really good on these maps in particular, and maybe even add in Lithuanians because these are all hybrid maps, at least a little bit. And all of those civs are really good on hybrid maps. Italians with fishing ships, Persians with quicker producing docks, Lithuanians have kind of a, like a resource bump at the start of the game that helps you get to water quicker. And then you've got Mongols. I'm expecting perhaps there's a bit of hunt on some of these maps, so we'll see where that goes. But in terms of Hive Mind, in terms of the hybrid civ kind of component, Japanese could potentially be good on any one of these maps. Maybe Turks on Copenhagen because it's got that closed map kind of feel just by looking at the map. And then I'm not sure, like Chinese has always been a good civ. Hindustanis I always pick in my drafts because let's say a really good knight civ comes up, boom, Hindustanis. They're just a really good counter civ. So I like having them in the mix. And then Mayans I'm not so sure about because I think, in my opinion, they've kind of fallen down the rung a bit in terms of the civ rankings. So just exactly where they want to play them, how they want to play them, we'll see how that goes. But maybe an underrated element of this tournament is your two players. Both of the players have to be familiar with the game style, game play, game bonuses of the civs, right? So if you're doing the Venn diagram of the civs that you play, there might only be a couple in the middle. So that would be an interesting thing, is what is the overlapping knowledge for these players on these civs? Yeah, will be quite interesting. Rosa Adventures, welcome to the stream. We're going to get into these matches right now. As I just fumble my way through the technology just a bit. Perfect, there we go. Just got to move this cam down just a tad. And game one is on Mide. It's a play all three, so no spoilers potential here. They will play all three maps. So it looks like they start on Nomad settings. And we're away. So we have TC on the edge of the lake here being put up immediately. You do have a horse to start with, which I think is great to spot these resources. So this TC is also pretty close to that lake. And you've got a lot of gold to the side here. That's 7,000 gold right next to your TC, so that's amazing. And no gold on the side of Psychedelic Dog's TC. And forgive me, I am going to just pause very quickly here and see if we can change these names. we're gonna change these names. So Psychedelic T-Dog is on the side of Hive Mind. So we're going to put that as Hive Mind. Sorry for the disruption. I should have perhaps done this a little earlier. That's Hive Mind, and this is takes to the mango. Return to map. Perfect. Okay. Now we're going to get rolled. But yeah, like I was saying, love the TC spot here for takes two to tango, takes two to mango. That's going to take a while for me to get right because it's on that gold and wood. Little less favorable, but this TC does go up a little quicker, and we're already luring a boar. Yikes. Are we going to see a villager go down right from the beginning? TC this? Oh no. Oh, okay. Nearly had a heart attack there. But good job. Good job. I suppose there's an advantage of having two players, right? One can focus on the boar lure, and the other one can focus on the TC production. Very early boar lures here, but you can see with two players that you can actually pull it off relatively unscathed. Very well executed there from takes two to mango. Are we going to see... Actually, I thought there was fish in the middle for some reason, but there is not. So I was expecting docks. There are no docks. Just how many boars is this? 7 boars. Might see some horse blocking eventually as well. Because you can really, if you're blocking as this villager goes through, blocking the villager, the boar can get some more hits on, and you can cause a few eco kills. Also underrated, as I'm just figuring out these maps, just figuring these maps out on the fly. I know why they're going for this so early. There's no sheep on the map. There are 0 sheep on the map. That's a problem. This is why you have to go for these boars. And we're going to see some of these blocked, and this could... Oh, and he's going to lure 2, even with the blocks. This is going to be a problem. But this board de-aggroes, which I think is for the best, and this ball will also de-aggro. So he got there in the end. Very well played. Very well played. But you can see actually the idle TC time for Hive Mind through all of that has gone up to 1:43 when there's no idle TC time on takes two to mango. So a bit of stress coming into play when these boars are coming in. And we've got 2 boars coming in at the same time, and we might see a villager death here, surely. Oh, so close, so close. He nearly had that. But I don't know about this double lure. And look, you got 2 villagers going out, 3 villagers going out, all at once for these boars. 4 villagers going out. That does introduce a lot of idle time from villagers, I would say. But the boars are done. And I think Takes Two to Mango has managed that just that little bit better. Causing some chaos on this side while also luring in more of the boars, I think. This village is looking for more and it's not going to find any, unfortunately. Yeah, that's 800 food under the TC. A lot of food, even if it's decaying, right? That we might have thought we'd see the Yerkins. I still don't know how to say that food's name. They would be really good on this map. Because of the lack of decay, you could just literally lure all of the boars all at once and just have them sitting there, not decaying, and it would have been fine. But yeah, I haven't even commented on the fact that it's the mines picked on this map. I just wonder why that is. Mongols I understand. Mongols I definitely understand based on the hunt element, I believe. I never played Mongols. I never played Mongols because I hate I hate the Mongols because you end up playing against the Mongols and you get Mangadai rushed, and I just hate it. So I don't play the Mongols all that often, but I believe they get that hunt bonus with the boars. Makes a lot of sense. You've got deer out here. I believe they're also included in that hunt bonus. I believe. But Hive Mind, they got food out the back here on this mill. I am noticing a few berries, a few clusters of deer sprinkled around the map, so there are a lot of food sources, but no fish. You can use this as kind of like your demo ship arena. Keep your enemy off the middle, they have to go around because you got demo ships with galleys or something. But yeah, we've got the... Here comes the razzle dazzle. I love it when the players get into the talkative mood. It's all in good faith, of course, I believe. I really love that. But we're going for Market Blacksmith on the side of takes 2 to Mango. And they're up quicker to feudal than Hive Mind, who's going for a barrack, which makes me think they're going to go for something a little more aggressive, which I like that approach. If you're playing a tournament where you're in a team and you can have more micro potential, you want to take advantage of that as much as possible, I would think. So going for some kind of aggressive strategy makes sense to me. However, wow, we are already on our way up to castle. It takes 2 to Mango. That is crazy. So let's come in here with a plan to go for hunt. It's only putting farms down now. They've figured it out that they can get to castle really quick. So I think this strategy is going to fall on its face, if I'm being honest. I can't even blame them, if I'm being honest. If you see Market Blacksmith and Feudal, you would think that there might be an opportunity to go on the offensive. Unfortunately, they did put their buildings under sight of the blue watchtower. So Takes 2 to Mango will surely know what's coming. And this is going to be rough. They're going to see the fast castle time and be like, yikes, what do we do? You've got to have this coming forward ASAP, I think. Do we know the total ball count for each team? I did not. I didn't even realize that that was such a big element of this map until got a couple minutes in, but it seemed like there were, what, 10 boars? I feel like blue kind of came away with more. And yeah, look, we've already got a knight coming out, so that should be pretty concerning for Hive Mind. Might even consider putting a few more spears in, but you want to get to castle pretty quick now that you know your opponent is up there right away. Fletching coming in. Yeah, I get it. But I think you want to get to castle, and that's just more resources. That puts you further away from castle, but it's tough, man. They obviously came into a plan that Mayans were going to go for some kind of archer rush, and wow, that step lancer went down quick, eh? This knight will take a bit longer though. But yeah, this is I would mass more of these knights before going further in, knowing that these little exchanges haven't quite worked out. And we've even got a preemptive tower on the gold, knowing how important that gold is, which I don't hate. Well, if I'm being honest, I do kind of hate it, because knights, of course, can just run under the tower and attack the tower. If it was up against archers, it would be better, obviously. Good micro here, and this is what this tournament's all about, having the potential to micro. Didn't need to do that, I don't think. If you had like one more knight, you can probably take them all. But the economy behind this is going well. But economy back here in Hive Mind also going very well. But not in castle. Not in castle. Remember that. Also of note, says Neopel. Also of note, Hive Mind is a pretty big underdog in this bracket, being the lowest ranked team by at least 200 elo. While I do love an underdog story, so let's go. Let's go Hive Mind, and that's nothing against Takes Two to Mango. But I think anybody would agree that an underdog story is compelling. And I don't know why these archers are separated, because you run the risk of this happening. These archers need to stick together as much as possible. And they need to be running towards each other. So good work here for Takes Two to Mango, getting a few pickoffs. And now this third knight's coming round. They might get this pickoff. And I think having this extra armor is really helping in this situation. These knights are not going down quick. They're just tanking these shots, no problem. They will go down. Knight coming back to heal even. This is some pro level stuff. Healing your knights. Again, you can do that when you've got a bit more actions per minute available to you. This knight will also return. So they've killed all of these archers while not losing any knight numbers. Very well played. Very, very well played. They're on 2 TCs back here. Castle only just going up now for Hive Mind. They're not walled. These knights are going to run through. One is following up. They're gonna rush back to this tower, but just need a few more knights here. But I love the pressure. Love that pressure. That's really nice. Really nice stuff. Also, I should note, we've got the eco upgrades for Takes Two to Mango. No eco upgrades for Hive Mind. So their economy will be lagging just a little bit as well. Now this is a good knight number. 7 can do a lot of damage. Eco upgrades coming now for Hive Mind. Siege Workshop coming for Takes Two to Mango. Got a villager on the way. I think that's very nice. I was thinking of putting the Siege Workshop maybe a bit closer over here. Which I would agree with. Yep, that's fine. It's a good spot. Spear taken out. We're going to get through these walls pretty quick. Good quick wall. It's not going to matter in the end when siege comes up. If they build an onager, amazing against archers. Personally, I would think with the 2 APMs, I would just get one player to focus on the onagers and get the other player to do everything else. Because you can be so impactful with onagers. And here we go. Mangonels, not onagers. Monks coming through for more healing. That's an amazing looking monk. Love the work the developers are doing on all this additional content. It's amazing. Here comes the archers. Here comes the mangonel. Oh, fire your shot, buddy. Okay. There was a potential for a really big shot. Just didn't get it. Got a villager. He's playing with fire here. Just trading a few shots here and there. And I'm already feeling the difference. I can feel at this 900-ish elo mark the level of micro that is occurring. It's got a risk going into this mangonel. I would not take that risk. You could even pounce with the knights here if you time it right. Yeah, more mangonels and I think you're good. But as we just look away for a second, got a TC on the back here coming up. TC has expanded over here for Takes Two to Mango. These knights are starting to use their mobility, which I love. Because there's nothing else here to deal with the mangonels. There's no knights to deal with them. And now Hive Mind is going to have choices to make on where he sends these armies. I do love the addition of the Scorpion as well. Also very good against archers. Even if this Knight army gets cleared, that's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. Good micro there for both players, taking out those mangonels. Expecting a big shot here perhaps. Take your shot. Need to take that shot. Fairly decent. Could have been just that little bit better. But throughout all of this, the eco lead that Takes Two to Mango is getting a little insurmountable, I would say. Monastery coming up to deal with knights potentially. More mangonels should perhaps follow this. But we've got ballistics coming in. I'm not sure why we've got ballistics coming in. Chain barding armor should be great. There's no attack on these knights yet. Yeah, this is what I want to see. I want to see this mangonel pop out here and then go for the immediate shot. These archers have separated. You can pounce on one of these, I think. But playing it patient, which I don't hate. I want to see what happens when this mangonel comes out. Pop it out here, or put the waypoint there and you're good. But still gets a really good shot. Really good shot. And a second good shot. Oh, that's devastating. That's actually devastating for Hive Mind. Lost a lot of archers there. And still only working with 2 TCs on the back of this. While we're going for the 4th. That takes 2 to mango. We're thinking of an eagle switch though. I think it's probably a little late. Unfortunately. Dodo saying, I guess they managed to defend, but they've defended, that's for sure. But you know, the working of the economy behind takes 2 to mango have nailed. And now we've got 3 scorpions back here as well. Here come the eagles. Takes out the mangonel, so good job. But scorpion's also great against infantry and archers. So those spearmen are not even gonna reach the scorpions. And now we're up to 5. We're inching ever closer to the enemy. I think you could even sneak a castle. Like if he came around the back here and put a castle here with about 15 villages, what will he do? Because all of the focus is on the front here. And these are great hits. This is going to be the GG, I reckon, because if you allow that, your whole army's going to go down. But we're attacking a house. We're attacking a house. That was a little unfortunate. But it does happen. That army could have been cleared. A bit angry at the house, I think, and he took it down. So none of that happens again. Oh, 3 scorpions taken down though. Again, these knights probably just need to focus on these archers. Just got to get this army away. And we're now at 105 equal to 64, and the military, what takes 2 to mango is, it's only 10 to 6, I suppose, so it's not that different. But all of the action has been on this side. Eagles taking out the villages instead of scorpions. I think that's a mistake, but now we're going to see the aggressive castle, and I just don't know what Hive Mind can do against this. Even building those protective walls, these knights should perhaps loop around. The walls aren't going to do anything against archers, unfortunately. So these knights need to come up and assist. I think regardless, this is going to go up. But yeah, good to take, you know, forcing his hand really to go for the archer attack there, and now those archers are also dead. So the GG is called by all players, very courteous, which you love to see. But yeah, really good opening match. Really good opening match by both players. But I think the main thing is all of the action was literally on this one opening in the wall. And there was only 2 TCs on Hive Mind, where we've got 4 TCs in the end, who takes to the mango. So very well played. Very, very well played. Yeah, that was great. That was great. As we just get into game 2, I'm going to make sure I've got my chat up in front of me so that I can see these comments. It can be a bit more responsive. But yeah, let's go back to the draft. So Mide in the favor of takes to the mango. Mongols are down, Mayans are down. So I'm assuming we're going to go to Copenhagen now for game 2. I'm just going to check that actually, because I have labeled the games. Ah, all right. I'm going to go to back to the game. It would seem we are on Bay. That's what it's labeled as. It's labeled as game 2. So I'm going to trust it. I had thought it was Hive Mind's pick and Copenhagen was their pick. Maybe I kind of carried that over wrong. Anyway, game 2 is going to be Bay. So yeah, let's get into it. We have Hive Mind on the Japanese, on a hybrid map that has fish. Loving this pick for them already. I wasn't in love with the mine pick on the last map. Loving this pick a lot more. We have takes 2 to mango on the Italians, which I also love this pick. Also very good water sieve. Maybe a good water sieve. Like they're amazing on shoals, which we've seen a lot of in tournaments recently. Get the fishing boats out cheaper. But I see them more of a water map sieve, less like a hybrid map sieve. At least in comparison to Japanese, where you've got all those wood savings on your lumber camps and your mining camps and your mills. I think you also have it on mills. You know, you're saving a lot of wood, which helps you a lot on water. Again, I'm just learning these maps for the first time. I haven't seen Bay before. Got gold and stone up on this ridge. But will you ever need to get up here? Because if you look just around your TC, there are 2 gold piles, and in total, that's 8,000 gold. That's a lot of gold. Then you've got little 3 piles, which I guess is not that much, actually. I thought this was potentially going to be more. So if you're in a really long game, you're going to need to come out to the ridge. And you also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 relics. Not too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So the dock timing is everything. dock timing is everything on a map like this. You have 1,800 fish. That is not insignificant. Having this will really, really help in the early game, getting your eco up. This will be the focal point in late Dark Age, early feudal. And we see the villager coming along now to build that dock, and the same for Hive Mind. Again, I think hybrid maps with the dual players, you can really utilize your increased actions per minute because you can literally double them. So one person could focus on water, one person could focus on land, especially when fire ships and stuff start coming out. Both scouts actually scouting the docks at the same time. This village is exposed. It would seem he has loom. So well played there. And we're fishing at the same time. Housed, if you're Hive Mind. Should never happen. Should, in theory, never happen. As you've got two players tracking your house situation. But having said that, that's like, if I'm playing with somebody and they're using all the wood, not thinking about houses or anything like that, a scenario like that could happen, right? Where one player uses all the wood and you're like, hang on a second, I need it for a house. So I can see that actually. But the Italian player's got the mill. No mill for Hive Mind yet. This villager doesn't have loom yet. This villager can be taken out, but this scout is a little low. Who wins this fight? I think the scout does. That's an eco kill. That's a delayed house. And that's unfortunate. But takes two to mango are going up the feudal again. Just a little bit quicker than Hive Mind. But the timing is so important on this map. Because whoever gets the fire ship out earliest, it's going to have a huge advantage in getting that eco damage. And what's the play? How many ships do you want on this map? You know, it's a decent amount of food, but it's not crazy. And this is what I'm saying. How important is it? Takes two to mango thinks it's so important that they need a double dock. And I just don't know if that's the case. I just don't know about that. They're ready for it. They've got villages on gold so that they can produce enough ships to defend this. Also got some on gold here for Hive Mind, so they're thinking of the same thing, but they're going to rock with the one dock. And we're going galleys. We're both going galleys. Is this pond big enough for micro galleys? Again, you've got more APM on hand, so you literally could have one player microing galleys all around the pond. But you can get trapped, right? I would prefer fire ships, I think. I really would. And actually, we're going for a mix. We are going for a mix. It takes two to mango, which I actually love. I love that. And this galley is going to come out slow, and we've got fire ship and galley all at once. I think Takes Two to Mango is gonna win that little engagement. And we see a lot more action happening here on Takes Two to Mango on land. And this fire ship can literally chase this galley all around the map. You need to have some kind of circular motion, otherwise you're going to run into a little bit of the corner of the circle. This ship can block off. Oh yeah, this is what I was worried about. I don't think you can go galleys. I don't think you can go galleys. I think it's a mistake. I think that's a mistake. So we're already lining up the demo rafts, which is amazing. I love demo rafts, but we've already separated our boats. These boats might come in a bit close. Gonna be no big shots available, unfortunately. So personally, I'd give up on water. I'd give up on this. Otherwise, you're just sinking more and more resources into a losing battle. And this is great. We're already transitioning to land as that demo raft didn't have the desired effect. We're going archery range. And both players are going archery range. Eco-techs again, Hive Mind kind of opting away from doing eco-techs, whereas Takes Two to Mango has double bit axe. I don't think you can stay away from double bit axe. It's such an important upgrade. You can't live without it, in my opinion. This dot gonna go down. This fish is all for the taking, and it's gonna be a huge eco boon. Takes Two to Mango. And here, look at the amount of farms. You know, maybe I'm a little OCD or something like that, but it breaks my heart to put 12 farms down without having horse collar. You know, something in me just feels so wrong whenever that happens. But Takes Two to Mango are also putting down a lot of farms without. I just can't bring myself to do it. And it's probably a weakness in my game because it is a big upfront cost in this part of the game. We're taking villages off farms right now to put 8 on stone. So we're thinking a castle. I don't know about that decision. I think that's an odd decision. Are we thinking defensive castle? Maybe we're a bit nervous. We're thinking, we lost water. Maybe we're going to start expecting an attack on the side of the other player. Let's make sure we have enough stone for a defensive castle. Let's make sure we have a market so when we're under threat we can buy the stone. Maybe that's what the logic is. Lemon Toaster, good to see you. What elo is it? This is Dual Domination Tournament. There are 2 players per team playing a single civ. It's around, I believe, 900 elo. So it's in the lower elo bracket. But these players putting up a real fight. Loving the fight from these players. Skirm coming in. We can see a bit of scouting here from Hive Mind, and they've got the skirms ready. I think we're thinking of putting a castle right here. I think is the logic. Again, the eco on the side of Takes Two to Mango is that much better. They've got 2 TCs already. And we see quite a big score lead as well for Jinska. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the name here, Takes Two to Mango. Quite a big eco lead. Archers starting to mass up, so these players are obviously comfortable on the archers. And actually, sorry, it was Hive Mind that did archers last time. Takes Two to Mango did knights. But we do have another TC coming up. We have another archery range coming up. I think there's a pretty good decision on their side. And here comes the castle. Love the position. I would delay that side as much as possible. Just do some kiting, I think. Because if you lose that army, your castle's under threat. Triple TC now. This castle's definitely going to go up. Could potentially be in range right at the edge for a cannon galleon or something like that. Might just be out of range. Loving these outposts. Gillnets. I mean, why are we researching gillnets when there are literally no fish? I guess it improves the collection rate on fish traps. I just don't see it all that often to know is this good in this situation. You've only got 6 fishing ships as well. It's not that many. Do you need an eco upgrade for 6 eco units? Maybe. It's possible. I'm not going to rule it out. And look at all these outposts all over the map. Stables. Siege workshop. They have it all. Don't mind the siege workshop for the skirmishes, but I think knights would be the play that I would go for. I would obviously be trying to get to Imperial ASAP now that I see a castle. But we actually don't have that many on food. We've only got 15 on food. I thought we would see more. You know, and 6 of those are actually boats. So the economy could be a bit better, if I'm being honest, for Takes Two to Mango. In terms of balance, 28 on wood. I don't know if you need 28 on wood. I guess it has worked for him at this point of the game because, you know, your army composition is wood and gold. But I really like knights here for the skirmishes. I'll be trying to make a transition. And yeah, generally speaking, I'm loving the eco for Hive Mind, even though they're on less TCs, less villages. They got more on food. Some big shots here. Quite a few dead skirmishers. This onager has great potential. Just playing with their food a little bit. Here comes the onager. Great. Takes him down HP quite a lot. Houses on the side of the map. Castle on the gold. I feel like the map is closing in just that little bit. and another onager coming through. I actually don't mind this angle takes to the mango because there's no castle here to protect this TC. A few warning shots here for the mangonel. More big shots. More could be landed here. Oh, try to predict where the skirmishes were going to go. And that's huge. That's a huge shot. Really good stuff here. Really, really good stuff. And now that that skirmisher mass is low, these villagers are sitting ducks. And the eco lead just keeps on going. Oh, right at the edge of the range there. That was huge. One of the mangonels is converted. That's a huge shot. That stalls out that entire attack. Good dodging though. But this is going to be pushed back. Really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Skirms and Samurai. I think that's a good combo. Not seeing any Samurai yet. We're seeing a panic castle. I think this is a bit of a panic castle. I think be more ambitious with that castle placement. I would even just wall that. Maybe. Put the castle here for this gold. Zone out that stone. I think if we've seen anything from Takes Two to Mango is they're willing to spread across the map as much as possible. Maybe to their detriment, because this castle, not necessary. You can basically win the game by investing your resources when you get to Imperial, into trebuchets, another castle up front to protect your units. I get it, this secures some resources out the back, but I highly doubt Hive Mind is even gonna know this is out here. But yeah, look at this base from Takes Two to Mango. They're so spread out. They're so spread out. They're so exposed. Like this mill, you could just run through there. You can run through the back and get this and get this. Relatively unprotected. This is more like a shell base that I'm used to. More compact, more efficient use of space. There's 37 farms there. I'm liking it a lot. And wow, we're going heavy into text right now. Conscription, summary, light cav. I don't know if you need light cav. There's enough gold on the map to go into your knights. Italians don't have terrible knights. I believe they have all right knights. I'm not going to say they're top tier. But yeah, I guess yeah, here come the samurai. To your right, samurai are being produced. And here they come, coming into... Wow, I didn't see these skirms coming around. But these samurai are going to be taken out. Skirms are not great against light cav, of course. Can't snipe trebs very easily. If these were 4 knights, this would be already cleared up. Didn't think you needed light cav, but it's done the job. Can't complain. It has done the job. Yeah, going samurai just means you can go held easy and they kill light cav anyway. Fair? I think that's all fair. I guess he saw the monks, right? So he's scared of monks as well. So that kind of makes sense. We need more trebs on the way though. That is 2 trebs. It is hidden. I thought it was just 1. This is probably going to be a sitting duck kind of TC. It'll be my next target coming around here. This castle, I don't know who's building it, but it is, the blueprint is there for that castle. He's going to find that that castle is around the back. Hussars coming in. So we're thinking raiding. Gotta watch out for this mangonel. Gonna keep his distance. Yeah, playing a risky game with the mangonel there. And again, this probably... What are we thinking? Are we thinking going for the castle, not going for the TC first? Mangonel shot incoming. That is huge. But the Hussars are there to clean up. And now they're in the base. That's going to be rough. Going somewhere just means you can go. Even half skirm against your turns, comp here will do. Yeah. But this looks very over. We've got 147 villagers on the side of Take 2 to Mango, so they've overboomed quite dramatically. I think it's too late for Hal Skirm at this point. Yeah. 100% agree. Eco is kind of run away from them. They've got villagers just sitting here soaking damage, and the GG is called. Should say that we were already at 1, so we know that Takes 2 to Mango has taken the series, but it's a play all 3. Play all 3, and if group stage teaches you anything, it's if you can come back and get the 3rd win, it can make all the difference in the standings. So even though we can clap our hands and say good job, Takes 2 to Mango, well deserved of course, played amazing. You can't take your foot off the gas. You got to win all 3. It's got all important ramifications for group stage. But yeah, I would say Take 2 to Mango, they've just been on point. There's more activity, I believe. I think they've got some weaknesses in just how they're arranging their stuff. I do like how Hive Mind are arranging, if that makes sense. But perhaps just a little slower. I think Takes 2 to Mango is really utilizing that increased APM available to them with the 2 players. So well done to them. But yeah, let's go back to the starting screen. So that's Maya done, that's Bay done, Mongols are out, Italians are out. We're on Copenhagen. They can pick Persians, Lithuanians, or Jurgens. I'm expecting Persians. I could be mistaken though. And then Hive Mind. I would be expecting Turks on a closed type map. However, not really good hybrid civ with the water play, but then again, I don't think they really have any civs that really play into that really strong. So, Lord Benji, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, we're going to get into Copenhagen in this last map of this play all 3. So let me get that one up. And I'll take us to the game very shortly. Alright, here we are. Hive Mind playing as Turks. Called it. I think that is a good approach for them, and you can pull off an out-of-the-pocket strategy with them. Janissaries, Bombard Cannon. I like it. You already have the castle. I think this bodes well for them. I think it's a good civ pick. Now, guys, you guys are going to have to help me out here with the urchins, as I'm reading that phonetically. Urchins, not yerkins or gherkins or whatever it might be. They're the urchins. Urchin. I'll remember that. I don't know what they do. I know they've got this non-decaying hunt. I believe that is them. But they're not the Catans, who I know more about, with their pastures and whatnot. Urchins, I know less. But we should say this is a ridgeside game. Kings and the castles. What kind of king do we have here? Turn around, mister. I want to see your face. No. It's not going to do that. It's just going to have his back to me the entire time. That's fine. But we do have relics on the map. I have noticed that there are relics down here. We have 1,300 fish on this bottom lake, which Hive Mind have decided to dock immediately. And it's going to find that villager killed. But he might lose a scout here. Going to get very low. And he's going to stick around. Stick around and find out what's the saying. You know, my wife watches a lot of Housewives, and there's a lot of those kind of things. So apologies, I can't get that out of my head. But yeah, we're seeing fishing down the bottom for Hive Mind. Double dock. It takes 2 to mango on this side, and there is a lot more fish. More spread out. And sorry, we have a dock up here for Hive Mind as well. So they're going hard into the dock eco. And they've got 11 on wood. So they're, you know, they've balanced their economy to go towards wood and fishing. I like it. I like it. So Lemito says urchins have faster attacking cab and fire lancers. I've hardly ever seen fire lancers yet, even with the new civs. And the grenadiers, they've got the grenadiers in place of hand cannons. They're made in Castle Age. So the grenadiers, I again have not seen that unit in action. Their gunpowder, I think they have some kind of area of effect attack. That's supposed to be the gunpowder attack for units nearby them. That's how I kind of understand that unit. It's supposed to be really powerful. It's supposed to be really powerful. Purely anti-infantry, like slingers. Also, do they have a ranged attack? I thought they were kind of a melee unit. I know that is more the... I don't know. Let's hope we see it in action. But Neo Powell says Hive Mind could go for a fast imp with their economy. They sure can. They sure can. But we're seeing Fire Galley out here, so they're going to have to find a way to protect this fishing if that's what they want to do. But this is all uncontested down the bottom. I would expect to see a fire galley come out here pretty quickly. I would hope. You could split these fishing ships up into different directions to prevent this happening so soon and produce a fire galley, but either they're not aware of this, they should be, or they've just decided we're not going to contest it. That's a bit of a curious decision to me because it would seem this part of the map is quite important. You know, you can have a landing down here, right? Like, you could produce a transport ship, transport a bunch of knights, roam through the economy. Oh, right, okay, grenadiers are range and damage your own units with friendly fire, okay. Yeah, the fire galley can also open the walls now, that's underrated. It's a good point. You don't even need the transport ship. I don't know what's going on down here. I don't know why this is necessary. This villager has their own kind of like mini kingdom down the bottom. This is like their fiefdom. This is their land, this is where they farm, this is their forest, this is their water. She's going to retire down here. She's just living her best life. And she's actually... We've got a transport. I know stuff is happening up here, but I want to know what this is. And what she's going to do. This is my entire focus right now. And how are these scouts going to exit? So okay, the scouts are going to come into the stable, you know, get produced from the stable inside the walls, get into the transport ship, go to the other side. Or you could have put a gate in. But that's just me, you know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm just crazy. Relics, I guess. I mean, yes, that was on my mind as well. But it's funner to think that there is a funnier reason. But you're right. Benji, you're right. It's a monastery. The monastery is protected from the walls. It all makes sense now. But I have noticed that petards are on the way. And what can you do with 2 petards? I think we've gone to a bit of a wacky time now. Because I don't know what 2 petards are going to achieve. I imagine it'll be rocket carts and light cav, step lancers. If Turks can't go camels because of good fire lancers. Yeah. I mean, I want to see fire lancers. I want to see more of these new units. Do urchins also have the traction trips? I think there's only the 3 kingdom civs. Yeah, no, I think that is correct. Can 2 petards get through a wall? I believe not. But Turk Light Cav are no joke. Iron Pagoda, also a unit I have not seen, that's from the castle. You've got to be careful with these petards. And I stand corrected, these walls do come down with 2 petards, so good research on the side of Hive Mind there. And they're in. Just gets those walls down. Those villagers would have died absolutely. Oh, okay, so I missed this grenadier attack. This is goofy, guys. This is goofy. I don't know what to make of this unit. What is this unit? Okay, guys, I've got to go back because I'm just so confused. I very much apologize. But I need to analyze this a bit. I was just overwhelmed with thoughts. So we gotta go back. It's the first time I've really seen this unit in action. Okay. I want to see the friendly fire. I need to see the friendly fire damage and see if it actually comes into play. The damage is significant. There is potential to miss. They do seem to go down quite quickly. These are Turk scouts, of course. I want to see if there's any damage on these villages as the bombs come through. I believe there is. Wow. Okay. Okay. That unit is wild. That is wild. That is wild. It really is. I don't quite know what to make of it. In all of that, I did not even really analyze the Iron Pagoda anyway. As well, sorry. 12 attack, 3 pierce armor. That seems like high pierce armor. Benji says, is it a bonus or unique tech where urchins take less friendly fire damage? Yes, I believe so. I think that is urchins. Turks going camels here is wild. Yes, I believe they get heavy camel rider. So the camels they should be decent, right? But is it necessary? Going for more of these outposts. Relics coming in. Got 3 relics down here for the Hive Mind. We have no relics yet on the side of the urchins. No relics up here. So only the 3. And here we go. This is the group of units we need to follow. They have heavy camels fully upgradable, but this is against 20 or 25% faster attacking fire lance civ. Yep. I haven't seen it yet though. I haven't seen fire lance yet. So do these units basically kill themselves if they're in melee? I wouldn't think they're kind of a hit and run type. I think the camels should have kept going. I don't think they'd be really hit and run type like archer unit, you know. I need to know more about their utility and their use cases. But wouldn't fire lancer get shredded by unit or HC? Don't think you ever want to go infantry against Turks here. Yep, I would agree. They need something against Iron Pagoda. If urchins go fire lancer, they deal with it then. Grenadiers only beat infantry in castle lane. Interesting, yeah. So this is the one interesting thing about all these new civs, as Turks get the better of the engagement here. So great showing from Hive Mind, but what I have seen from the new civs is that they've all seem to have a power unit in castle age, right? So for urchins, it seems to be grenadiers who, you know, I've been a little underwhelmed by. I think the unit is cool, and I was Very confused when I saw on the forum what they actually did. But that's probably a power unit. The Wu have their Yian, Jian swordsman. Like an insane Castle Age unit. Got like a heavy chariot for the Shu. So there's all these kind of Castle Age units for all these ships that are really different. And this seems to be the Urchins one. Actually, these are produced in archery ranges, which I think is interesting. TC coming out to the side here, so Great Escape. On the stone. This gold hasn't been taken, is it? Is he even aware that this gold is here behind these buildings? But he hasn't taken it yet. But he's got access to a lot of stone. And just patrolling the shoreline very ominously. All it takes two to Mango. Yeah, that's my point, Toasty. You get it straight away in Castle Age, no upgrades. You know, you can do something crazy with it, like with those bombs, which seem to do a lot of damage, but a lot of friendly fire. So, is it worth it? It's a power unit. It's at least a power unit that you can use in the early Castle Age and then forget about, right? But yeah, all these civs seem to have it. And we're actually going to contest this pond now. Alright. That's alright. I guess you can kind of contest those relics now as well. As we've got two relics on the side of takes two to Mango. This has been spotted though, and there'll be a preemptive fire galley coming out. So I don't think this strategy is gonna work. You've got a lot of cav gonna assist taking that out too. Got a demo raft. Can you kind of sneak in here, or are you gonna sneak out here and demo these fishing ships? Just want to get this demo raft out just in time though. Is it even going to come out? It's going to be close. There it is. Got some damage. Wasn't as big as I was hoping. Was he going War Galley to get the better demo raft and get a bigger shot? It's close. But it's all relatively insignificant. I wouldn't be focusing on that if I was takes two to Mango. I want to know what your strategy is at this point. And this is actually quite funny. We've got patrolling units in the middle, patrolling boats on the side. I have spotted a transport ship. Here it comes. This is what I was hoping for. A landing of some sort. This stone is exposed. These villages are exposed. This unit is goofy, man. This is goofy. This is real goofy. But these camels are coming back to deal with this. Got a few pikes in here. So it's got to do a lot of damage. Gonna get fire ships involved, but not gonna be enough. And if we've learned something from Hive Mind, is that they do get forced into some panic decisions. You've dealt with the transport ship already. I don't think this castle is necessary. But units down here will kind of contest this position. Liking this little base to the side to take 2 to Mango, and they've actually caught up quite a lot in villages. So I think we're kind of progressing a little bit to a stalemate. You know, Hive Mind really had an opportunity to take the game by the horns, and they haven't done it. And we haven't seen Janissary at all. We're seeing a couple now. But I thought we were going to see Janissary Rams or something in this game. But we've got a lot of pikemen. I guess that's what the Janissaries are for, is to deal with the pikemen. This is a very favourable trade for takes 2 to Mango. Even though they'll lose that fight, that's a really good trade. I don't know, this could be pretty even. These pikemen do have chainmail armor. That is a lot of dead camels. A lot of dead camels as heavy camel is coming in. Castle in the middle. I'm liking take 2 to Mango's position more and more, so long as they get this castle up, which they should. Don't lure them back to the castle. I said don't lure them back to the castle, because now they know, and this castle ain't going up. Stay away from the castle. It might go up anyway, but that was unfortunate. That was very unfortunate. The path didn't need to go that way. That's unlucky. Ooh, here we go. Elite Janissary. Looking very, very nice. Grenadiers going to the depths. I was just saying that I love take 2 to Mango's position. I don't love it so much anymore. If that castle went up, I would absolutely love it. Got a lot of barracks going into 2-man saw. Can never advise going for 2-man saw. It does seem like a bit of a waste of resources. This isn't being addressed. We're going for Halberdier, so we're not going to see the Fire Lancer. Seeing Halberdier instead. But it is Halberdier against a lot of camels. We now have Janissaries, elite Janissaries in as a support unit. That's good against the pikes. So maybe it's a combination that could work. Yeah, where's the siege? So no, that's a great point. You know, I thought we were going to see Janissary and Ram or something like that in Castle Age and go for the dreaded, the fast Imperial Turk strategy with Janissary Ram. Heavy rocket cart coming out. Take 2 to Mango. I don't know. I don't think that's going to work. It's obviously an overpowered unit, but I don't think it's going to cut mustard. Again, if that castle went up, I thought take 2 to Mango would have it. But a couple of pikemen just lured them back. Really unfortunate. As we see quite a commanding score lead now for Hive Mind. You know, and Hive Mind took a really poor trade down here. If they didn't take such a poor trade, then they would be in a better position as well. So mistakes for both players, certainly. Yeah, Fire Lancer Skirm, I think it's the play that's, it doesn't really seem to be a shortage of gold, although now I'm looking at it, this does seem to be the only gold left. About 2,700. Not seeing any other gold other than this gold in the middle, which is now in control of nobody. There's this gold down here for Hive Mind. So their gold position's a little better. Protected by a castle. Heavy rocket card I haven't really seen yet either. All of those missiles are gonna miss on the first volley, but then they get the second volley there. We're gonna try for another castle. This one might go up. I would have sprung more villages, I would say. Hive Mind are unaware that this is happening. If they pounced on this, if only they'd pounced on that. You know, 50-50, I would say, but worth it. They're gonna reposition. They don't know the castle's there still. Do we have trebs yet? Where are bombard cannons? Here we go. Bombard cannons are on this side. This is where the push is going to come, apparently. Just going to get through the wall with units alone. Seems like a strange choice. Remember, we do have units down here, bombard cannons down here, but this is going to be a bloodbath. Because Halberdier is going to absolutely dominate the camp. Should never take that trade. You should never take that trade if you're Hive Mind. There's a lot of wasted resources, but we are getting progress down here. They need to make a transition away from camel. The camel ain't working. I don't think the camel's going to work. More camels go down. I think they need to make a transition, and if they do, they'll win the game. Hive Mind, that is. Because they're just throwing camels to the meat grinder. It's eventually going to catch up to them. You can't keep throwing camels to Halberdier. Although, if they secure the position, if they are able to hold on just long enough, but where these villages are coming from here, it's a bit far away. I don't think they're going to make it in time. We have the Lloyd Chun. Trebuchet on a boat, love it. Be interesting to see if this castle goes up. It may do. You know, if all of these halberdiers came over at once rather than trickled in, probably this castle wouldn't have gone up, but I think it might. In fact, it will. A lot of friendly fire here on the camels. And this castle should have never gone up. And now these halberdiers are just left to their death. And we might see bombard cannons circle round, although we've got bombard cannons for the urchins as well. I didn't know that they had access to bombard cannons. In theory, this is still anyone's game. You know, the score's actually really tightened now. Still on cannons, but we've got more and more elite Janissary, which I think is going to be in favor of Hive Mind. And this base to the side is going to completely be destroyed with seemingly no support coming. All of these villages are idle. Units under the TC. These bombard cannons will be coming this way, and that TC is going to go down quick. All of that economy is going to go. And I want to keep the camels around for that purpose. I don't know where the camels... I don't think they all died. Okay. Janissary is going to take a few shots. That's a lot of unnecessary death. Going to repair this castle. So what is the micro like? Obviously bombard cannons with micro is the name of the game. Here we go. Nearly hit. No micro on the Janissary, so they're just left for their death. That's tough. But we do have bombard cannons on this side. Janissary can't hit anything that's moving. But those Iron Pagoda are not going to do the trick. This castle is nearly back to full HP. We've got stables. I don't know why we're still going stables. Why are we still going stables? We know that the enemy is only producing halberdiers. I don't know why you continue to just go into stables. We've got the answer there. Urchins do not have traction trebs, they've got normal trebs. All of these units over here should be dead. You know, if you are going into stables, all of these units should be dead. This heavy rocket car not doing the trick. Again, going to the meat grinder. We're going to the meat grinder. I guess they sniped the trip. But again, seems like a lot of unnecessary death. Bombard cannon's doing great with these grouped up units, so got 18 kills amongst them. Who is building these stables? I have no idea. Oh, stop producing. Yeah. Oh, I mean, it is working. And what else do you do with tips? I don't know. But you're a gunpowder Sith. I would probably lean into gunpowder. But the horses are going for siege. Seems to be working okay for them. Again, this is all exposed. If you kill 74, there's 74 villages down here. There's 74 villages. If you get that amount of cav down here, killing villages, the game's over. This is your win condition. They'll have nobody left. They'll literally have nobody left. As we've got villager desperation, going for these bombard cannons, who are being pushed out by villagers. If they get one of these kills, that'll be hilarious. But I guess he doesn't know that there's 74 villagers down here. Castle goes down and Trev goes down. More meat grind action. No castle fight to protect here, but I guess I've been so focused on that front, as it takes two to Mango, that I've kind of ignored the fact that they're in the base. And these villagers are going down. And hold on. Hold on. There has been enough time, and you know, Hive Mind hasn't noticed this either. We've just noticed now that there are stables and siege inside Hive Mind's base. And Take Two to Mango is winning this game. What is going on? What is going on? This is ridiculous. King is moving. Remember, it's a regicide game. It's quite easy to forget that this is a regicide game. There's nothing in this base. This has been decimated on this side. Villagers going to get back into the transport ship, make their great escape after pulling off the greatest coup in their nation's history. Okay. Nothing here. You still got these production buildings in your base if you're green, supported by the Lloyd Chung. I believe that's how it's pronounced. They do fire arrows at enemy units. Doesn't seem to be doing much damage, though. Remember that this is a regicide game for both players. The King's over here for blue. These production buildings being taken out, though. I don't know how these villagers have been allowed to live. Like, it boggles my mind. If these bombard cannons circled around here for that tower, these Janissaries could kill the king, but Hive Mind is unaware of that. These Lloyd Chung are doing no damage to these horses. It's very slow grind to kill that on that side. All of these villages. Actually, this was pinged out. This was pinged out. King's gonna die to gunfire. King dies. King dies. It was pointed out. So, Takes Two to Mango must be thinking, hang on a second, what just happened? Why are we dead? We had a king. And we kept him in the tower. Oh, yeah, literally noticed that king in the last second. Yeah. Wow. What a cool way for that game to end. Yes, that was insane. That was insane. Well done to both players. Wow, what a what a crazy end to the series. But I'm really happy for Hive Mind. You know, I think if I'm being honest with the situation, I think Takes Two to Mango proved on those first two maps that they were the superior team. But I gotta put my hands down to Hive Mind to keep pushing, keep going, and taking this map to such a crazy outcome. Even though I think mistakes were made, really persevering with the Cav when there's halberdiers, all things that can potentially be improved upon. Although I say this as no ace of the game or anything like this, but I just really like this fight from you guys. I think that was really, really cool. King lives matter. But yeah, this is the thing that sticks out to me, is the 70 or so villages. Yeah, 70 villages down here chilling. You had the stables down here, you had the bombard cannons. Um, you won the game anyway. Um, but you could have won the game a lot earlier if these villages all die. Especially if you maintain the push on this front, game's over. Um, but yeah, they that was really, really cool. Um, awesome. Well, that's dual domination set number one. Happy to be the first caster. When I know that there'll be people clamoring over to cast games, maybe not on a Monday night as I am doing. So I wanted to make sure I got an opportunity to at least cast one. I plan to cast a lot more, of course, but now it's up to the other casters to do their casting, and I can sit back knowing that I've done that cast. Um, yeah, T Dog's probably closer to that 100 than he is to that. Uh, what's that number? 666. Um, yeah, that's cool, man. That was cool. I'm contemplating. Um, I'll let you guys know that I am running a series as well. So I'm running a series called How to Play Shu. It's just a how to play series. I'm going to review a bunch of ranked ladder matches, just random people who play a particular civilization, see how they play it, come up with a bunch of pros and cons. I'm doing that for all of the new civs. I'm starting with Shu because everybody thinks they're terrible. I'm looking for scenarios in which they're not terrible, and if they're playable, what maps they're playable on, and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for that. I'm running that series. Plan to cover more dual domination. The Scrappy Lemons League is coming up. I'll be playing in that one. To my good friend Grape Juice, I put my hand up and said I'll play that tournament, and I might also be casting that tournament. So I've got a lot of things on the horizon. If any of you are interested, I don't say this very often, but would appreciate the follow. I'll never do any of this for money or anything like this. It's just for a bit of fun. Love casting the community tournaments. I think the community is amazing. So if any of you are interested, consider the follow. But of course, no pressure. But yeah, I might leave it there. Look out for the How to Play Shu series. Look out for more casting of this tournament. Look out for Scrappy Lemons League. Sorry. I'll definitely be back, and I'll be back soon. Thanks so much, Jinska. Thanks so much. And actually, you're my 20th subscriber, which is my goal. Yes. What a way to end the stream. What a way to end the stream, guys. Really appreciate that. Thanks for all the love. There you go. Got my first stream goal. Isn't that great?